Hey guys, it's Paul. I'm here again to show you another game. This game is called Alwa's Awakening by Eldin Pixels. Came out just this week here as I'm recording this in late January, early February. Made by, I think it's 4 guys. This is one of these love letter games to the way NES games were back in the day, and I think it does it quite well. We'll get into the game style here in a second, but if you like games kind of like Shovel Knight that revisit how old games were, especially Metroidvania type games, I think you'll enjoy this. Taking a look at what we have here, we have start game, settings. The settings are pretty basic. You can put in a controller. I'm going to be using a controller here. You can use your keyboard as well. It's basic enough that it's really no big deal. Audio, we have the sound volume. In fact, I might turn this down just a little bit more because it's a bit loud. You have different languages here. You have English and Svenska, which I'm gonna be honest with you, my ignorance is gonna show here. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing like Swedish or something. I'm not sure. Anyways, you got some basic stuff there. If you listen to the music, you'll hear it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. As you can see, I've been playing a little bit on my own time here. I actually deleted one of my save files as well when I played, probably about the same amount, and we're gonna show probably about the same amount here. So let's just go new adventure and I'll show you right from the beginning. The land of Alwa was once a beautiful and peaceful place filled with vivid lakes, clear skies, and lush forests. Some nice, very pixely, kind of like old DOS system era, like really old NES, like Ninja Gaiden type cutscenes here. The people living were free, took care of one another, and together ensured that I fucked up and I didn't read fast enough. But one day, peace was broken. Somebody wanted Alwa for himself, and a mystical being known as Vicar descended from above. So yeah, we're just gonna skip past that. You can get the story for yourself. I kind of want to show off the game. So the first thing you'll notice is that, very much like Shovel Knight, it really does have that old aesthetic. There's a few other games that have been doing this old NES adventure, Metroidvania type aesthetic that haven't come out yet, that I'm also looking forward to, and I feel real bad that I can't remember the name of them right now, but I digress. Wake up, Zoe. Zoe being our main character. The eternal flame must be lit. So we have Grandma here, waking our little girl up, our main character. Hello, Zoe. You are in the land of Alwa. I am Saga. I have brought you here to help us. Alwa has always been enslaved by evil, and we, the people, have lost our strength and courage to fight back. We cannot do this alone. You must help us. You are stronger than us, and in time you will uncover your true strength. You must enter this tower and go all the way to the top in order to find the magic staff. When you have found the staff, quickly make your way back to town, but watch out, there are many dangerous foes out there. So at the very top, you see there's a bar. It shows right in the middle where we are in the world. The other stuff we will get to as we unlock certain things and they fill out. All you have to know right now is in the top right there, you see 3 what look like rupees from Zelda. These 3 things are like our hearts. They are how much damage we can take. So right off the bat, the controls probably don't feel as good as you would want them to right off the bat. You do get used to them pretty quick, but it's pretty true to how old NES games were. There's a strange momentum to the way you jump, and you do walk kind of slow. However, I'm pretty impressed with the animation quality of everything still, so it's, I don't know. It's not great, but it's not bad. You get used to it pretty quick too. You found a magic staff. When you hold it, you feel there's something really special with this item. I really like how there's no sound except for the 8-bit sound of the ocean crashing, like near the tower. And then once you get your item and things are starting to pop off, this badass music starts. Just listen to this. That's some good old throwback music. Use it with attack to fight enemies and destroy certain walls. Okay, so we have our weapon now. We didn't have a weapon at all before then, and I forgot you actually can just jump off ladders by pushing left or right to walk off of it. So our staff can break through certain walls, but more importantly, it's what we will use to hurt enemies. And yeah, So now we can continue on here. That wall crumbling animation is very good. I like it quite a bit. I also really like these enemy designs, like these weird pumpkin beat potato head dudes are great. I really, really, really like them. Those hearts are what will fill up our damage meter or whatever, our health meter. And if you look over here, you'll see the 2 stars. This indicates that there's a save point in there, and we'll go in there in a second. Right, Amber Salem? I'm really, really bad at reading words that I don't use very often, so I apologize for that. So we go in here, we see this knight lady standing here, and she says, go and light the flame in the center of this room. Doing so will let you start from here if your adventure comes to an end. So this is a checkpoint save system. You see at the top it says game saved, and we can continue on. I do like that that stuff is marked off, kind of like in the way Metroid was a little bit with like this sort of thing. And then you'll also see that we can't go any further. We'll just fall into the lava, die, and it'll give us a death counter in the game over screen, which is also kind of cool. So we go continue. They got the font down perfectly too. It's very much the old like Zelda 2 font, the old NES font. And I really, really do enjoy that, so props to them for sure. Little slime dudes walking around, they pose no threat as we have a magic wand. Magic wands are slime's natural predator, as everybody knows. There are a few jumps in this game that feel like you probably shouldn't be able to make them, and maybe you aren't supposed to normally, like they feel a little tight, but I don't know, it's very much like an old NES game. I think it's just one of those things that you get used to, the feeling of like how far your jump will take you and how to kind of like stop it midway and stuff like that. More so than Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight really did feel much more like a modernization love letter to an NES era thing. Like in style, it was very much an old game, but it felt modernized. This definitely feels like it could have been played on a brick controller with a D-pad and 2 buttons, because all you have are 2 buttons to use during it as well. So I kind of like that aesthetic. If I'm going to be completely frank, I'd like the way Shovel Knight does it better though. I think modernization of old ideas is the way to go. But as long as it works, who am I to complain, right? So we go in here, you see that we're missing actually a heart or a rupee. Every time you save, you'll get full health. That's just one of the video game tropes that happens. So we go into this room here. This is a warp zone, so we can warp here. We're obviously not going to worry about that right now because we can't do anything with it. I'm wondering though if we're able to get in here right now or if we have to go up to the town. Beyond this door, you will find the Amber Salem. The first step on your journey. There you will find green gemstone, a very powerful enemy. When you have found the stone, defeated the evil, go back to town. This dungeon is very dangerous, so you will need a map. Okay, so we do need to go to the town and just kind of see what's going on there, because that's where we're going to get a map to be able to enter and go through the dungeon, which is fine. It's kind of one of those Metroidvania things I don't particularly love so much, where there's actually absolutely no reason why we can't go in there except for video game logic dictates we can't until we have an arbitrary item. It makes sense if, like, we need to be able to move a rock and we need, like, something to be able to move that rock, but come on, man, we don't need a map. You found a map. If you check your inventory, now it shows your location. Go on, try it out. So there you go. This shows a map of the whole game here. You see at the bottom, I can move around a little bit. We can't really do anything until we map out more of the game, to be honest, so we will continue on here and talk to the old man, because every village needs an old man, and every old man needs to say welcome. Welcome, Zoe. This is the town of Westwood. Thank you for coming to the land of Alwa. You have been sent here. We are weak. You must help us destroy the evil that threatens our land. Go to the cave just outside town, talk to the knight. He will open the entrance. This house you can find a map, get the gemstone, defeat the evil, blah, blah, blah. Pretty standard NPC talk there. So now that we have the map, the knight will say, oh, you are well prepared to go into this dungeon of, like, terrible things. So here you go. Again, one of those like tropey things I don't particularly care for myself, but whatever. Video games will be video games. You get used to it. Okay, now he'll open the door and we can start our first dungeon, which I think is probably the quickest dungeon. It's really not that bad. It's pretty self-explanatory the way you need to go. If you can reach an area in this dungeon, you should probably just jump up there or go down there and go that way. So we see down there that there's a door that needs a key. Obviously, we need to find a key, which we will be able to do by going this way. Pretty standard dungeon crawling stuff, to be completely honest with you. If you've ever played a Metroidvania game or dungeon crawler or any of that sort of stuff, you'll be able to get around perfectly fine. The music is really, really good. I can't state that enough how much I love it. And we see our first mechanic that the game introduces is there's these blocks that we can move around. This dungeon is going to be based around this gimmick, much like a Zelda dungeon, Metroid dungeon, any of that sort of stuff would be. It shows us a new thing we can do. It's going to revolve everything around it. So now that it taught us that we are able to push these blocks, it's going to make us do that. And then here, it teaches us safely that the blocks will stop damage coming at us. So we use this as a shield. Very, very good game design. This is all basic game design stuff that I think gets thrown by the wayside with indie games way too often. This is the type of stuff that people need to think about when they're making a game, is how do you teach the player what to do in this instance elegantly? And I think this game does a very good job of it. This is one of the sections that you can tell there's probably a secret here somewhere because there's no way we can get up there. And sure enough, an easy to find secret tells us that this game will have secrets and you should keep a lookout for that sort of stuff. I really, really like these skeleton dudes too. I just think they're adorable and I would love to have like a plushie of them or something. Again, old video game control type scheme. I felt like I could probably change my direction in the air a little bit better than I could. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I paid the ultimate price of death. As most video game characters do, to be honest with you. We get past the room of two Zoras here, and I always forget that these guys only actually take like one hit to kill. And I, like, swing multiple times because I'm just used to stuff like Legend of Zelda having enemies that are a little harder than they maybe should be. Excuse me. So, we see there... I'm not 100% sure this is going to work, by the way, but we see this might be a fake spike pit, and it is. Just make sure that we can't break anything here. And we'll see that this is an invisible wall here as well. This game does tell you straight up at some point that every dungeon has a boss at the end and a secret. And I think an item you can get, because of course it does, right? It's a dungeon. So, it does behoove you to explore a little bit. For sure. I keep forgetting that this game doesn't actually have the, like, hit back from when you're taking damage. And this right here is another thing that we can't do yet, actually, now that I think about it. And it'll make sense why when we revisit it. So yeah. We'll go back here and save. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little bit lost. Never mind, we're not lost anymore. And by we, I mean me. I just went the opposite way of the way I did originally. The way I went originally this way is actually the way you're supposed to go to, like, progress, but I wanted to see what was the other way. Because I couldn't remember, to be honest. And it was totally worth it by getting our little treasure there. There's nothing up here anymore for us to get. You'll see that we have those, like, blue orbs. So, when you collect the blue orbs, even if you die and you start at a checkpoint or whatever, that blue orb is gonna be gone. Like, it's gonna be in your inventory still. So, no big deal. And you'll see that this switch, I don't have to hit again with that block. It just has it done. So there is kind of like an auto-saving thing going on here. Actually, I'll show you where this goes. This is built kind of Dark Souls-y. You'll recognize the red-headed knight there, so we'll save here. This is where we couldn't go before that I like jumped into the lava to show you the death animation and death screen and whatnot. So yeah, it has this kind of Dark Souls-y thing of everything kind of works into each other in the level. And you can open up, like, different passageways to get back easier and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's, like, I can't speak highly enough about how well designed I think this game is. Which is nice. It's nice to be able to just praise a game that is an indie game, because there's been so many bad ones lately, and that feels really dickish to say that. And I don't mean bad in the way that they're, like, not fun or anything. It's just that they're not, like, I think, well designed for what they're trying to do. This game definitely has an idea of what they wanted to do, and everything is designed appropriately around it, and I really, really do appreciate that. Okay, so we know spikes kill us by now. This is kind of a little puzzle to show you that you don't need to slam on your jump. You can, like, do different heights of jump. Like that, but I still got hit because I'm a moron. And we are going to go for this. Oh, we can't until... I'm a moron. Ignore me. We'll come back. Maybe? I'll be honest with you, we probably are not actually going to come back. But, yeah. We have a new enemy type here. This guy does take 2 hits. That's why I was getting a little bit confused, I guess. So, it seems obvious that we're going to get an item that is going to be able to help us either double jump, jump higher, or get up places, because there's so many points where we can't actually get up. So, like, we're stuck here. Luckily, we get our green gem. You found the green gemstone. It glows with a mysterious light. You place your staff, and it fits perfectly. Now you can hold up and press attack to create gemstone blocks. Every time you create a block, it uses magic, so you have to wait for your magic meter to be refilled before you can create another block. So now you'll see at the very left of the top there, we have some of the stuff filled out. It's obvious we're going to get 3 gems in this game at some point, and they're going to have different abilities, and that blue bar there is the magic bar. So, yeah, all pretty self-explanatory. I like being able to use the block here to learn. I like that the game teaches you that the blocks can save you from damage, like in a forced setting and a safe setting, so that you know that this is a mechanic you can employ later when you get the item. And especially like places like here. So this puzzle was a little weird to me at first, and I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to remember how you solve it now. I think we can just go above this, if I'm going to be completely honest, so let's do it that way. In fact, that's probably the way I did it before. Create a block here. We can't make that jump, so we'll take a little boost, push this all the way to the edge. It has old NES game physics in that it'll just sit at the edge there. And of course you can break it if you need to. But also when you summon a new block, it'll break the old one. So with this new ability, this dungeon becomes less of an adventure thing now and becomes a puzzle in a weird way, which I think is cool. It's one of the things that Legend of Zelda games do very well, which is why I like comparing this game to Zelda, even though it does play more like a Metroidvania game. It feels very much more like a Zelda game to me. Which I know is wrong, and that's fine, but, like, whatever, man. So, get across here. We know that there's a save room here because we saw the stars in the doorway. And a save room usually means we're getting close to either a hard part or a boss fight when it's in a dungeon. Or something important. So we see that there's a thing there that shoots fireballs. This is a good way to teach us that those things can be built into the wall. Even though we've already seen that a few times now. Jump across here. Get this. Alright. So this puzzle is a little bit interesting as well here. Because we obviously need 2 blocks to be able to get up there. So what we do is I fucked it all up. What we do is fuck it up, then we leave, and like an old NES game, we're able to fix our mistake. So we put that down first to slide this across because you can't pull anything, right? This is very much like a Resident Evil crate puzzle here or something. And it's kind of infuriating, but brilliant. So we're gonna create a little staircase to heaven here, so we're able to get up there. And to save us from damage, which is dope as hell. We see that there's a bunch of things built into the wall to try to kill us. So luckily we can just escape all sorts of damage by going as fast as we can. This little guy shoots, so we'll block his shots here. And give him the old 1-2. Bait out a shot from there. And continue on. So, if we go out here, we go back to the main area, like the outside or whatever, but we gotta finish off this dungeon. So, let's go ahead and start that up. Talk to our lady here. Have you seen any blue orbs lying around? They are very powerful. If you see any, you should try to collect them. The more you have, the more powerful you become when fighting the protectors. There's also treasure hidden somewhere in this dungeon. You should really try to find it before you leave. So we got the treasure. That's fine. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to get that up there. So I'm sure it's one of those things that you have to come back for. Pretty classic boss store thing going on there. How dare you enter these chambers? Why have you come to this land to destroy us? We have done nothing to you. You should show Vicar your divine honor and respect. He's the only true deity. Enough talk, have at you. Okay, so we have a boss fight here. And I have done this boss. We're gonna employ the strategy of hiding like a little bitch and then hitting him. The weird thing about this boss specifically is that his hitbox feels weird. And it's kind of annoying. A little bit. But that's fine. We can only take one more hit. Keep in mind how, like, little damage you can actually take in this game. So we got a Mega Man style boss. We fight him. It's actually more like DuckTales, if I'm going to be honest with you. Then we get the item here. And when we open this door, you will realize or recognize where we are, probably. If we go back out here, we are actually at the entrance of the dungeon. So we are done and wrapped all the way back around for a nice tidy little package. And I'm gonna go up this way because I think I might have to. Yeah, you do have to. We got some health there, which is really nice. It's still kind of weird to me when I get a heart that it's health. Because very rarely it seems like hearts are health anymore. Castlevania changed a lot of stuff, and I like me some Castlevania games, so... We go back to the Forsaken Valley, and now that we have this item, we can actually go back to town and cross the path that I didn't show you before because there was no point. So we can continue on. We save here, not only because saving is good, but also because it restores our health. We listen to the badass overworld music again. Fight the weird potato beat dudes. And we'll end it right at the place we're headed to, at the destination here. Old man is still rubbing his beard, looking out into the distance, wondering what the hell's going on here. And pretty much like any of these games, you can enter houses. This guy's alright. Hello, I am Ori Wari? Whatever. I'm really bad at this stuff, I'm sorry. Welcome to the town of Westwood. I know a lot of things. Come talk to me if you ever need help. But his cat is amazing. Do not stare too long at the light, the cat says. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what a cat would say, so it makes sense to me. That's not a weird thing at all. This guy looks like he has glasses, and I don't know if he's supposed to, but this bridge is broken if you cannot pass. If you have the green gemstone, you can create a block that lets you pass. So this is what we needed to get, so we can do a jump across safely, otherwise you can't actually cross that. And then we see more of the village here. Hello, this well next to me, you can refill your water. First you need to find something to carry it in. So, yeah. Pretty self-explanatory what you're going to be doing eventually and the things you're going to be getting. And this is pretty much how the game plays out, is that you get an item so you're able to progress more, like a Metroidvania, and you get more and more powerful, then you're gonna do the end stuff, and you're gonna be going through dungeons, you're gonna be fighting bosses, and getting new items, and finding treasures, all the time with decent controls that you get used to. They're not great controls, like, let's be completely real here. They're not bad, though, and, yeah, I don't know, it's just a good time, man. I actually can't remember how to get across there. I think it's something you have to do some, like, crazy jumping stuff. Anyways, that's Alwa's Awakening. It's available now, actually. It came out February 1st, I believe, so you can go pick that up for yourself if you like what you saw. And yeah, I suggest you do if you like this type of game style, because it plays very well. And it's a cool thing for a couple of dudes to be able to do, so give them some support too. Go check out Alwa's Awakening on Steam. I believe it's about 15 bucks, which is a pretty good deal in my eyes. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.